Day Science. I am Jackie with the Santa Clara City Library. So I'm one of the youth librarians who will be hosting this program today. I'm going to go ahead and link the supply sheet in the chat right now in case you haven't seen it before. Supply list. Okay. So you can click on that and that will take you to a document for you to look at. If you don't have your supplies with you today, that's okay. You can still follow along, watch us as we do the experiments, and all of our STEAM labs are recorded. So you can always go back to our YouTube channel and take a look at that. We have a playlist for all of our previous STEAM labs. So feel free to rewatch them as much as you want. I'm just going to finish getting started. If you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat channel, and I'll be sure to answer them as I see them. Okay. All right. Hi, everyone. Again, I'm Miss Jackie. Thank you for joining us today for Earth Day STEAM Lab. We're going to get started very soon. Again, if you're just joining us, please make sure to access the link that I put in the chat. I'm going to link it one more time. So this is the sheet that has all of our supply list items on there. And if you don't have your items with you today, you can still follow along with the STEAM Lab. And you can, again, always go back to our YouTube channel, take a look at all of the STEAM labs and rewatch them if you like. All right, so we are going to get started, I think right now, with our first activity. So the first thing we're going to be doing is called milk plastic. So let me stop sharing my screen. Okay. All right, so our first activity is called milk plastic. So what we're going to need is, you can either use a stovetop or a microwave. So if you use a stovetop, you will need to have a pot. I'm going to be using the microwave because that's what we have in the office and it's the fastest way to heat the milk. You're gonna need milk, let's see, 2% or 1%. So the lower the milk fat, the better. You will also need white vinegar or lemon juice. I'm going to be using white vinegar. You're going to need a bowl, a spoon, a strainer. You can either have a strainer or cheesecloth. Actually, I'll show all my supplies on my other camera in just a moment. So a strainer or cheesecloth. You're going to need paper towels and silicone molds, okay? So how many of you, just raise your hand in Zoom, or you can raise, or you can say yes or something in the chat. Do you guys have your supplies today? Who's actually going to be able to do the activity with me? Okay, I see a few hands up. Excellent. Very cool. Okay. So let me turn on, I'm going to switch over to my science cam and go from there. All right. Okay, can everybody hear me okay? Okay, excellent. So going over our materials again, let me grab the milk. So I actually made a big boo-boo and I bought the wrong kind of milk. I bought this one, which is not what we need. It's going to have a higher fat content, but hopefully it will still work for what we need. So we have milk. I forgot to write it down, but a measuring cup. So I have a measuring cup here that I'm going to be using for the milk. And also I'm going to use this to heat the milk in the microwave because this is microwave safe. We're going to need white vinegar, which I have this right here, white distilled vinegar. A bowl, here's my bowl. A spoon, let me grab that. We have our spoon, we have our strainer here. So this is what I'm going to be using instead of cheesecloth. Paper towels and a silicone mold. So this one, it's fun. It's got some clouds, a moon, rainbow, sun. So that's what I'm going to be using. Okay. Is everybody with me? All right, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to measure out 1 cup of milk, and you're going to heat that either on the stovetop in a pot or in the microwave until it's steaming. So I'm going to go ahead and open up my milk. I'm not a huge fan of carton milk because they always make a huge mess. And I also wanted to just make sure. So our steam labs are recommended for ages 7 and up with some parental supervision. So make sure your parent or guardian is with you and helping you along the way if you need assistance. Okay, I don't want anyone to get burned or hurt or anything like that. Okay. So I have my 1 cup of milk. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the microwave. We're going to start with, I'm going to start it off at 1 minute. Okay. So I'm also going to need to add 4 teaspoons of vinegar to the milk once I'm done. So again, this is the vinegar. Let me grab a teaspoon. All right. Sorry, folks, I forgot to mention that. So if you have a teaspoon measurement tool, that would be really helpful. Otherwise, you can ballpark it. You can just pour it into the spoon and just put it in with the mixture. Okay, so I'm going to be using that. Just waiting for the milk. And after we've heated the milk, we are going to add the vinegar to it, and then we're going to stir gently. So let me grab the milk. I'm heating it for another 20 seconds. Oh, and I see a message from Armand, Eliana, Jolie, and Leanna. Thank you. Yes, please feel free to watch later on. Okay, so here is my milk and it is steaming. So I'm going to add it over here into my bowl. All right. And the next thing I'm going to do is take vinegar. And I'm going to add about 4 teaspoons. Oh, I was a little overflow. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're essentially making is a buttermilk. Okay, so now that we've added that, we are going to stir gently. And I'm really hoping this works because I have the wrong milk. So sorry. Hopefully you all have the right kind of milk. All right, so I don't know if you can see what's happening. The milk is starting to change. Are you guys getting the same results? So keep stirring slowly. Very cool. Okay. So we're going to continue stirring for approximately 1 to 2 more minutes to make sure that the reaction is fully finished. And what we've created are milk curds. Do you see that? Okay, so keep going a little bit longer. Just make sure that we've got it all. So this is probably going to produce not a whole lot. We've just done a small amount first. If you were to want to make milk plastic in large bunches, you'll probably just double up on all the materials so that you'll end up making more curds. Okay, I think we're good now. So what I'm going to do is, let me use a paper towel. I'm going to strain off the curds using my strainer in the sink. And then I'll come back and show you what we're going to do next. So go ahead and put some paper towels out too. All right, is everybody with me? So John asked how long to heat the milk. I did it for 1 minute, 20 seconds. Microwave heat power does vary. So you can try 1 minute. If it's steaming, then that's totally fine. You can add another 20 seconds, 30 seconds. All right, so I'm going to strain this right now. I'll be right back. Okay, so just to show you, I poured this through the strainer and then I kind of used my hand and I just pushed down to push out any excess liquid. So as you can see, there's still a little bit more liquid coming out. So go ahead and just strain it, push it into there. Okay. And then we're just going to let it drip for a little bit to make sure that all the excess liquid has come off. All right. That's that. Okay, is everybody on the same page as me? Have you guys all made your curds now? No? Do you need a few more minutes? So we're going to, actually the drying process is going to happen after we've put it into the mold. So it does take a total of about 2 days to fully dry. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to do this ahead of time to show you guys some, let's see, finished product, but basically it looks like a little plastic, just like a plastic toy, basically. Similar to what you get from like 3D printing. That's what it looks like. Okay, we're gonna get to that part. So after we've let this kind of drip off, we're gonna smush it around a little bit more and try to get some more water out. And then we're going to put it on the paper towel and get even more liquid out, okay? So here we have some paper towels. And try to get as much as you can off from the strainer. Your hands might smell like vinegar. What we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of like, let me put one more layer down here. You want a few layers of paper towels because we're going to squish and pat the curds dry a little bit more. Sorry, let me put this right in the middle. All right. So my paper towels, I'm just gonna like gently pat it down like this. So you want to remove as much liquid as possible. Okay, so keep using different parts of the paper towel to absorb that water. Just to fold this in half, so this is a dry surface again. Okay, just keep doing this, keep patting it, moving it around. All right. We're almost there. We'll put it down here, grab another towel. All right. And actually what I forgot to tell you was that we could, if you wanted to have colored plastic, you could add some food coloring to it. But that would have been when we poured the milk in. So we're just gonna have the white. Okay, so after you've done that, is everybody with me? Let me check the chat really quick. It's not exactly like flour. It does look like it, doesn't it? Okay, so once your curds have dried pretty well, what you're going to do is push it into your mold. So here's the tip. Once the curds have totally dried in your mold, they're actually going to be not exactly the smoothest product, right? It's a little bit rough. So if you wanted to get a smoother product, you could soak this in vinegar for about an hour to get a nice, like smooth, kind of like clay-like texture. but we don't have time for that. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to go ahead and fill it into the mold. So I'm going to put some in here and just squish it in as much as you can. Pack it as tight as you can. Let's see, I'll put some in this rainbow here. Maybe in the moon. Okay, so pack it in nice and tight. Push this one in some more. Okay, so you're gonna allow this to dry in your silicone mold for 24 hours. And then you can remove them from the mold and allow it to dry for another 24 hours to really solidify the substance. Okay, so that's that. Go ahead and put it aside if you want. Make sure that nobody tries to eat it. It does look like cottage cheese, but you do not want to eat this, I don't think. Probably doesn't taste the greatest after you've touched it and played with it like this. Okay, so after this, again, let it dry in the mold for 24 hours and then take it out. Let it dry for another 24 hours. So you can just put it on a plate or paper towel somewhere safe. And once it's fully dried, you will be able to clean up the edges with some sandpaper. Okay. So if you guys want to, if you end up doing this at home and your milk plastic comes out great, you can actually send me photos either on Facebook Messenger or you can email them to me, and I would love to post our results on our social media account. So let me go ahead and put my email address in the chat. Okay, so that's my email address. If you want to email me what your results look like, I would love to see it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put that aside. So that was activity 1. I'm also going to put the milk away. Let me just rinse some of this stuff off because I do need to use the bowl again. All right, I'm actually going to go ahead and read I'm going to go ahead and read the activity. Oh, I'm sorry. We need to go over what the science is behind what we just did. Okay. So the explanation. This activity is a chemistry experiment working with polymers. Polymers are molecules that have formed a regular chain structure. Milk contains molecules of a protein called casein. So during this reaction between a warm milk and acid, the acid being the vinegar, the casein molecules unfold and form long chains called a polymer. So that's what was created. All that, they're like clumped up, clumped up, that's the word I'm looking for. The polymer can be molded and shaped, which makes it a plastic. In this case, it's called casein plastic or milk plastic because of the type of molecules that created the plastic. So this process has actually been used for over 100 years, and it's how people back in the day, especially and even in 1945, that's when they were making, that's how they made toys. So before synthetic plastic was available or be able to be created, they were actually making toys out of milk, just like this process that we just did. Okay, I'm gonna go on and we're gonna go over activity 2 materials really quick, and then I'm gonna go ahead and clean up really fast before we move on to the next thing. So activity 2, we are going to be making slime, and we're going to be making it 2 ways. So the first thing you're going to need is a large bottle of Elmer's glue. So it can be white Elmer's glue or it can be clear Elmer's glue. I'm going to be using clear glue myself, but you can use white glue. We also need liquid starch. So the brand I have is Stay Flow. We are also going to need a bowl or a glass jar or a glass bowl, some baking soda, saline solution, and optional is glitter. So if you have glitter and you want to use it, oh, you can't, I'm sorry. Let me see. Let me highlight my, oops. Okay, sorry. Can you see my face now? All right, so I was just going over the activity materials. So when you are ready, go ahead and raise your hand or say yes in the chat, and I will be right back. I'm just going to clean some stuff off and get my supplies ready, and then I'll turn back the science cam. Okay? See you in just a second. Okay, let me get my science cam back up, and I'll highlight it for everyone to see. Okay. So we're going to be making the slime 2 ways. Let me grab, so this is the dish I'm going to be using so that you can see it'll be side by side. So, but you can use a bowl, anything that will hold it. All right. Oh, here is the glue I'll be using. So again, it's Elmer's clear glue. And then we have liquid starch. So this is what liquid starch looks like, Stay Flow. So it's in a large bottle like this. So we have Stay Flow. We're also gonna need, oh, so I have the jar, bowl, baking soda. Baking soda. This is a large bag, but usually it'll come in a small box. Saline solution. So here is saline solution. All right, so, and you'll find this in the contact solution area. So that's just saline solution. And optional is glitter. So I did grab some glitter, just some silver glitter. Okay. And if you are using white glue, you can actually also dye it a color if you want. So if you have food coloring, that's all you'll need. You'll just need like, you can pick a bright color. I think a bright color would look really good with the white, if you have white glue. So something like an orange or a bright green. Okay. Does everybody have their materials ready? Let's see. Let's see, Ryan, you said we don't have the multi-roost? What do you mean by that? Okay, half a cup of glue. Oh, you couldn't find liquid starch. That's okay. Do you have the ingredients, the other ingredients? So if you have baking soda and saline solution, this is what we're using for the second batch of slime. So if you have this, you can still make it with us. This itself is making one type of slime. Okay, great. You can find Stay Flow. I believe you can get it at like Target or Walmart. They might even have it at the grocery store. I can't remember. I think I ordered mine on Amazon, but Amazon sells everything. All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started because we're already at the half-hour mark, and we need to do 2 versions of the slime. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pour half a cup of glue into the bowl. So this is my bowl. I'm gonna go ahead and take the glue. I'm just gonna open it up and pour it out. So this glue is about 5 ounces worth. Let me see. Half a cup is about 4 ounces. So I'm gonna use almost the entire bottle. Well, maybe I'll just make a small batch. So I'm gonna I'll pour half of it, about half. I won't make huge batches of slime. Let's see. Okay, that's about half. Okay, so the glue, and then we're gonna add our choice of food coloring. So I will add some food coloring to this just to see what happens. Deep pink. Let's go with, I'm gonna go with that bright orange that I talked about. So again, this part is optional. I'm not even sure how well it will work with the clear, but we're gonna find out. Okay, and then we are going to mix well. So sorry, I forgot. We do need a spoon. Go ahead and, oh, well, that didn't come out orange. That's yellow. That's all right. Still very fun. Okay, so mix that up well. And then once you've mixed it up, we are going to open up the Stay Flow liquid starch and add that next. You know what? I was supposed to make this kind of green for Earth Day. So let me just add a little bit of green to this to make it more earth friendly or Earth Day themed. There we go. Okay, so mix well. Okay, after you've done that, we're going to add a small amount of Stay Flow to the mixture. And we're going to continue to stir gently. So here's a small amount, just a little bit. Okay, just a little bit at a time. So pour in a little bit and then mix. So I don't know if you can see some of the parts where the liquid starch has already touched the texture. I mean, you can feel it when you're stirring. The texture of this glue is starting to change. So mix that up really well. I'm going to add a little bit more again. Mix, 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 mix. How's everybody doing? Let me check the chat really quick. Okay, I think everyone's doing well. I don't see anyone with questions. Okay, I'm going to add some more. Whoop, that's a little bit more than a little bit. Keep stirring. We're getting closer. Okay, that definitely looks slimy. I think it's probably better if you do it in a nice round bowl, because that way you'll get all the little corners. And I'm going to add some glitter for fun. Okay. Okay, and I think I need just a little bit more of this. To make sure it's nice and clumpy. Okay, here we go. Do you see how the texture has changed? That looks very, very similar to slime. Okay, I'm going to add just a little bit more. And then I think we almost have the consistency I want. So keep stirring. There we go. Oh yeah, this is definitely good. Okay. Does everyone else's look like this? I'm afraid to touch it in case it gets, it's a little goopy still, like very sticky. I'm gonna add a little bit more again. So out of the two methods, this one's probably actually the easiest to make the slime with, because you only need, let's see, you only need what? 2 things? All you need is the glue and the liquid starch. Oops, sorry about that, folks. All right, I think we're good. I'm gonna take it out and play with it. I'm a little scared. There we go. So that's pretty close. So this is our first batch of slime. Ugh. What do you guys think? Were we successful? probably a little bit more liquid starch would be perfect. All right, let me just clean up my hands and then we'll move on to the next version of it. Okay, let's recap this. My hands. I think I'm just gonna have to get a new spoon. All right. Okay, so for the second one, we are going to pour the rest of the glue. So I'll put it in this one this time. And we don't need the Stay Flow. We are going to be using the baking soda and the saline solution. Okay, so go ahead and pour the rest of this, the glue into this compartment. All right, that's good. Once you've done that, let's add our choice of food coloring. So since we're keeping on Earth Day theme, I'm gonna pick a blue color. Let's see if I can find something nice. Let's go with this teal. Do 2 drops of that. All right. So mix well. Ooh, that's pretty. Reminds me of the ocean. It mix really, really well. And after that, we are going to grab our baking soda and dilute it in the saline solution. So if you have an extra little cup, that'll work perfectly. I'm going to use this little plastic one. All right, so baking soda and spoon some out, about 1 tablespoon worth, okay? You probably don't even need that much. I don't think we're going to be using all of it. I'm just going to do 1 teaspoon. Maybe 2 teaspoons, like that. Okay. And then we're going to, oh, sorry, you can't see it. Here we go. So this is about how much I have. Now we're going to open up the saline solution and mix that in with our baking soda. And you want to make sure that you have baking soda and not baking powder. It's a huge difference. All right. So go ahead and pour some saline solution in here. I'm just going to use a little teaspoon measurement to mix it up. So mix well. And do you guys think that we should put some glitter in this batch as well? Or just leave it plain? Glitter or no glitter? Let's see. Yes, add glitter? Okay. I'm an easy sell. I love glitter. Okay, so that's good and dissolved. So let's go ahead and put some glitter in. Why not? Whoop. Okay. Again, that was a lot of glitter. Mix it in. But it does look so pretty. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to add small increments of our baking soda saline solution to this mixture. So go ahead and splash a little bit in at a time and stir. And you can see that the consistency is already changing with just that small amount. So keep stirring. Mix it in really, really, really well. Starting to clump already. Scrape off all the edges too to make sure you incorporate all that glue. All right, so go ahead and start again. All right, pour some more in. Mix, mix, mix. Wow. So this mixture is actually very, very effective. So I don't know if you can tell, like with just a small amount, it's already changed the texture of this glue quite a bit. Like it is already at that slime level. We probably don't need that much more. We might not have to add any more of the baking soda. The only thing I would say is it is pretty sticky. Look at that. You can definitely play with it. Okay, how did everyone else's turn out? I know some people did have the baking soda. Ah, I can't even get it off my hands now. I would have to say this was very successful. This was a successful slime for sure. It is very, very, very sticky. I almost wonder what would happen if I poured in a little bit more. If it's just going to get more clumpy. But it is hard to stir once it's already gotten to this point. All right. Let's see. Ooh. Okay, I think this is actually, of the two, this one's my favorite one. So after I added in a bit more, it became more smooth and now it's not sticking to my hands anymore. So the baking soda and saline solution is a really, really good slime recipe. Look at that. You can really mold this one. Yay, that was fun. I like that. Cool. How many of you were able to do your slime? So remember to send me pictures if you want. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and put this aside and we're going to move on to our third activity. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot again. So the science explained. Let's see. Okay, so the science behind this. Slime is again about polymers. So a polymer is a substance or material that's made up of a very large chain of molecules, which we already discussed about the milk plastic. The glue used in slime is made of long chains of polyvinyl acetate molecules. These chains slide past one another fairly easily, which keeps the glue flowing. So that's how they're able to like move around. You can squish it. Chemical bonds are formed when you mix the glue and slime activator together. So the slime activator being either the liquid starch or the saline and baking soda. The slime activators change the position of the molecules in the glue in a process called cross-linking. So a chemical reaction occurs between the glue and the borate ions, and the slime is the new substance that is formed. So instead of flowing freely as before, like with the glue, the molecules in the slime have now become tangled and create the slime. Think freshly cooked spaghetti versus leftover cooked spaghetti. So cross-linking changes the viscosity or the flow of the new substance, and that's how we got the slime. All right, we are going to move on to activity number 3. So the items you're going to need for activity number 3 are crayon pieces. So I've been collecting a whole bunch of broken crayons here at the library. And I removed all the labels already. So let me go ahead and turn my camera back around. All right, so here are crayon leftovers. I actually grabbed a whole bunch because we have tons of crayons. And I also divide them into these little cups. So they're different colors. So this one has like red, magenta, white, and pink. This one I have orange, yellow, and light green. This one I have darker green, blues, and some browns. And this one, oh, brown. This one are darker blues and turquoise and black. Okay, so we're making recycled crayons with all of these. What we need are the crayon pieces with the labels removed, which we have here. We need silicone molds, which we have here. And also, let's see, I have another one. Another one of these, which is clouds and rainbows. So those are my silicone molds. And we're gonna need to use the microwave. The baking sheet is optional. That's if you're actually baking it in the oven. I'm gonna be using the microwave. Parchment paper is also optional. Glitter is also optional. So I am going to put glitter in our set here. Okay, is everybody ready to make some recycled crayons? All right. Here we go. And also, if you have space in your freezer, that's gonna help the end process along. So first thing we're gonna do is remove all the labels from your crayons, which I've already done. Next, we are going to break them up into smaller pieces. So you can go with these types of small pieces, or you can cut them up even more to make smaller pieces. And we're gonna fill them into the different molds here. So you can just break them with your hands if you want. I just like snap it in half. Let's see. And then you're going to fill in your mold. So do whatever variety of color that you want. It's going to look great either way. So I'm going to put some blue here. Break it up, put some yellow. If you need help from your parent or guardian, they can help you use scissors to cut or use a knife. I'm going to do it like that. And you want to fill the mold, not totally full sticking out, but just about almost to the top. So I have blue and yellow. I think this is black. Just break them up into as small a piece as you can. I'm actually going to grab a scissors. Okay, actually I grabbed a knife. So I'm just gonna cut this one. And use a cutting board if you need to. I'm just doing it on a paper towel. So you wanna mix it in. Oops, hold on one second. Sorry, everyone. There we go. Okay, and I have to actually do this quickly because my phone battery is gonna die soon, and that's what I'm using. All right, so I got some crayons in there. I'm gonna cut a little bit more. This is magenta. Put a little bit of magenta in there, and you wanna vary where you're putting them because at the bottom of the mold, there's gonna be different variations in color. All right, so that one's full. Let's do something with these fun designs. So I'm gonna grab some yellow, put magenta there. And you can make rainbows, or you can make themed colors, or you don't even have to mix colors if you don't want to. But I think colors make everything more fun. Okay. Some green. Let's do some blue. I'm gonna add a little splash of pink in there. Let's see what else. I'm gonna do one more with this lime green. See, let's put it in this little dewdrop looking one. What goes with that? This is turquoise. Let me check on my paper. Oh, purple. Let's do purple. It's hard to tell what colors these are once they're out of their containers. Blue. Oh, let's do some green. Okay. Like that. Okay, so I'm going to be using the microwave. And what I'm going to do is I discovered that you actually, with my microwave, I have to heat it. We'll just do one mold since I'm running out of time. Let me move these over. I'll put in the rainbow one. Put the rest of these in the moon. Okay, so what I discovered with my microwave, the microwave time does vary. I had to put mine in for 8 minutes total. So what I would suggest is to start off with 5 minutes and then check to see if your crayon has melted. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. This is my mold. I'm going to stick it in the microwave. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to show you some of the ones that I made yesterday that have already dried. So here it is in the mold. And then it comes out very easily. So this one was one that I made. This is orange, yellow, red. There's another one. Oops. This one has some green, some blue, light blue. This one had like pink, red, and magenta. And then here's a little rainbow one. A little earth kind of looking drop, teardrop. And here is my cloud. So that one's really fun. Oh, I forgot to put glitters. That's okay. But I'll show you how it looks when it's coloring. It does work. Well, that one's showing all yellow, but if you look really carefully, it's got all the colors in it. So it comes out really pretty. Here's the red. And let's try this one. I don't know about you, but I think that's super fun. You get to see all the different colors that are in the crayons. Okay. And I'll go ahead and explain the science behind this. Well, crayons are made of wax, and when you heat wax, it melts. So that's the only thing that's happening here is that we are melting the crayons and just reforming it into different shapes. Okay, I'm gonna check on the microwave and see how it's going. And a word of caution, the silicone molds get very, very hot once you've heated them. So please, please, please make sure that you have your parent or guardian helping you to remove them from the microwave. So make sure that you have oven mitts on or some kind of silicone holder so you're not touching it directly with your hands. It is very hot and you can get burned. So I have about 4 minutes left on my microwave. And if you were to do, you can actually do this in like a muffin tin, a metal one, if you do it in the oven. And that, I think that actually takes less time. And that's when you would use the baking sheet to remove it. So just to show you, these are the kind of silicone molds. I think we got them off of Amazon. So this one's actually, they're actually like ice tray. They're meant to be for ice trays. But we're using it for this. All right, I still have 3 minutes on that. Look at this situation. I don't know if we needed to add more starch to this to make it not so sticky. This one was really good. All right, we're almost there. Sorry, I'm running over time. We're at 2 minutes. If you can't stay, that's okay. I was just going to show you what it looks like out of the microwave. It's basically just melted liquid. And what you want to do is let it cool on the counter for just a couple of minutes. And if you have room in your freezer, you can pop the tray, the silicone tray, into your freezer. I think I put mine in for about 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes, I took it out and it was ready to just be pushed out of the mold, and you'd have your finished product. So if you can't stay with me, that's okay. I do have another minute left on the microwave. But I do appreciate you all joining me today for our Earth Day themed activities. And again, if you want to rewatch the experiments, please go to our YouTube channel. I will go ahead and link that in the chat right now. Okay, so that is our YouTube channel. Please feel free to check it out. We have lots of activities on there. We have our previous STEAM labs. We have story times if you're interested in that as well. I have 40 seconds left. And also a side tip, if you cut your crayons into smaller pieces, it actually helps it to melt better. Ten seconds left on the microwave. Whoops, I keep knocking that over. I'm so sorry. All right, let me grab that from the microwave and I'll show you what it looks like. So here we go. Okay, so this is what it looks like melted. This one didn't quite get it, but this one is what you want it to look like. Okay, so it's a nice, smooth, liquid surface. All right, thank you for joining me, everyone. Go ahead and let that cool and pop it into the freezer, and you'll have your beautiful crayons in no time. Thank you for joining me. Have a good day.